Thank you so much, Gap. My name is, again, Chris Brummer, and I'm a law professor at Georgetown University Law Center and also the host of the FinTech Beat podcast. Now, we're about to launch into a conversation on central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs, one of the hottest issues in not only market microstructure, but also international financial regulation. And I'm just delighted to have really two of the world's experts with me here to discuss this topic. David Mills with the Federal Reserve Board, and also Ulrich Bindseil, who is coming to talk to us from the European Central Bank. Now, I think that for conversations like these, it's useful to not only sort of give titles of the people who are on the panels, but also a bit of a discussion or a quick recap, really, of what you do to help people understand not only why you have expertise, but to sort of give light to what angle you sort of tackle this CBDC question from. So maybe, David, we'll start with you. Maybe you can give us a quick introduction and a little bit of background about yourself and particularly with your work over at the Fed.
Sure. Thanks, Chris. And so my name is David Mills. I'm an officer in the Payments Division at the Federal Reserve Board in Washington. And I have background as a research economist. My background was in monetary theory, and I asked very foundational questions in my old days around why money exists and for what purposes. So not surprisingly, this got me very interested and curious about future innovations around money and the future of money. And so here I am looking at central bank digital currencies for the Fed. I have responsibilities for our economic research team in the Federal Reserve Board for the area of payments, as well as our retail payments function and the broad innovations portfolio that we have in payments. And so central bank digital currency is at the heart of that.
Wow. And well, anytime in which you can actually think about money, it's fascinating because it's not just a historical question anymore. It's as much of a political science and a current events sort of story, as we'll get into shortly. And Ulrich, maybe you can talk to us about your work in payments over at the ECB.
Yeah. Hi, Chris. Yeah, good afternoon from Frankfurt. Thanks for inviting me. And I've been in the European Central Bank since '99, since the beginnings. I spent 20 years almost 20 years in market operations and risk management. And then I moved only 1 year ago into market infrastructure and payments. I mean, I'm also an economist by training, but I always worked then on the operations side of central banking. And now very excited to have a CBDC as extra topic. I mean, the department I work in also, runs the RTGS system for the euro area. We run T2S, the security settlement system for the euro area. So we have quite big operations that keep me busy. If CBDC is added to that, it gets a big portfolio.
That is really quite a portfolio. It's like a real-time gross settlement, and in my spare time, I might as well think about the future of the of what money will look like. I guess we'll start off from really the question that everybody wants to know and that everyone's always asking. Whenever you get into a CBDC conversation, which is how close are we to a CBDC? Now, obviously, that in and of itself implies that we know just what a CBDC is and exactly what are the kinds of features that a CBDC has. But just to get that question out of the way, I think maybe we'll start with just a sense as to, however defined, how close are we getting, and do you see steps in the international regulatory and monetary community towards sort of inching towards a first CBDC product of note and of global relevance? Ulrich, I'll start with you.